Hello and welcome to Cozy English Story. Today's story is full of emotion, secrets, and truth. It will help you improve your English by listening to simple sentences, real feelings, and natural dialogue. Try to imagine the scenes and feel the words. This story is called Motherhood Truth. Let's begin. My name is Lily. I am 22 years old, and I work in a small flower shop near my home. I love quiet mornings, soft music, and the smell of fresh roses. My life has always been simple. I live with my mother in a small house at the end of a quiet street. It is not a big life, but it always felt safe. My mother is a quiet woman. She works long hours at a local clinic as a nurse. She does not talk much about her past. When I was a child, I asked her many questions. She would smile and say, "Some stories are better left in the past." I never pushed her too much. I trusted her. I believed everything was normal. Every morning, she wakes up before me. She makes tea and leaves a small note on the table. The notes are always short. "Eat well. Have a good day. Don't forget your jacket." These small things made me feel loved. Even when she was tired, she always cared for me. Our house is full of quiet memories, old photos on the wall, a wooden table in the kitchen, and a small garden outside. But there is one thing I always noticed. There were very few pictures of when I was a baby. I once asked her about it. She looked away and said, "We lost many things long ago." Her voice sounded different that day. I remember it clearly. I did not ask again. Last Sunday, everything started to change. It was my day off. The weather was warm, and sunlight came through the windows like soft gold. I decided to clean the storage room. It was a small, dusty place where we kept old boxes, broken things, and forgotten memories. I wanted to make space. I did not know I was about to open something much bigger. As I moved the boxes, I found one hidden behind a large suitcase. It was old and covered in dust. I had never seen it before. My heart felt strange, but I told myself it was nothing. I sat on the floor and slowly opened it. Inside were old clothes, letters, and some documents. Most of them looked normal, but one paper caught my eye. It was folded carefully, like it was important. I opened it with shaking hands. It was a birth certificate. At first, I smiled a little. I thought it was mine, but then I looked closer. The name said Lily. My name, but the mother's name was not my mother's name. I stopped breathing for a moment. My chest felt tight. I read it again and again. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was a mistake, but the date, the place, everything matched my life. Only one thing was different: the name of the mother. My hands started to shake. My mind was full of questions. Why was this here? Who was that woman? And why did my mother never tell me? I stood up slowly, still holding the paper. The room suddenly felt cold, even with the warm sunlight outside. At that moment, I heard the front door open. My mother was home earlier than usual. Her footsteps were quiet, but I could hear them coming closer. I looked at the paper again. Then I looked at the door, and I knew nothing would ever be the same again. I stood frozen in the storage room, holding the paper like it might disappear if I blinked. My mother's footsteps came closer, slow and tired, like always after a long day. But today, each step sounded heavier in my ears. "Lily," she called softly. "Are you home?" My voice did not come out at first. My throat felt dry. I looked at the birth certificate again, then folded it quickly, but my hands were shaking too much. I stepped out of the room, trying to act normal, but my heart was beating fast. "I'm here," I finally said. She walked into the living room and smiled when she saw me. Her face looked the same. Calm, warm, safe. But something inside me had already changed. "You're cleaning today?" she asked, placing her bag on the chair. "Yes," I said quietly. She nodded and walked toward the kitchen. "That's good. The house needed it." I followed her slowly. The paper felt heavy in my hand, like it was pulling me down. I did not know how to ask. I did not know what to say. But I knew I could not stay silent. "Mom?" I said. She turned to me. "Yes?" My fingers tightened around the paper. "I found something." Her smile faded just a little. "What do you mean?" I took a deep breath and opened the paper. This was in the storage box. She looked at it. For a second, her face stayed calm. Then I saw it. A small change. Her eyes moved quickly. Her lips pressed together. "It's just an old document," she said, turning away. "You don't need to worry about it." My chest hurt. "But it has my name." She stopped moving. "And the mother's name. It's not yours." Silence filled the room. Even the sound of the clock felt too loud. She walked to the sink and started washing her hands, even though they were not dirty. "There must be a mistake," she said quietly. "A mistake?" I stepped closer. "Everything matches. My birthday, the hospital, everything. Only one thing is different." She did not look at me. "Lily, please, let's not talk about this." Her words felt like a wall, but I was already too far inside this moment. "No," I said, my voice shaking. "We have to talk about it. I deserve to know." She turned around quickly. "Some things are not important." "That is not true." I raised my voice for the first time. "This is about me, about my life." Her eyes filled with something I had never seen before. Fear. "Please," she whispered. I shook my head. "Who is she?" She closed her eyes. "It doesn't matter. It matters to me." I felt tears in my eyes now. "Have you been lying to me all these years?" She stepped back like my words hurt her. "I never wanted to hurt you." "But you did," I said. "Right now, you are hurting me." The room felt smaller. The air felt heavy. I could not breathe normally. She sat down slowly on the chair. Her hands were shaking now, too. I had never seen her like this. She always looked strong, always calm. But now she looked broken. "I was going to tell you someday," she said softly. "When?" I asked. "After how many more years?" She looked up at me, tears finally falling from her eyes. I was afraid. "Afraid of what?" I whispered. Her voice trembled. "Afraid of losing you." Those words confused me even more. "Losing me? Why would you lose me?" She looked at the paper in my hand again, then back at my face. "Because the truth," she said slowly, "might change how you see me." My heart felt like it stopped. "What truth?" I asked. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. Her silence felt louder than anything. I stepped closer, my voice now quiet but strong. "Tell me the truth, Mom." She looked at me for a long time. Her eyes were full of pain, like she had been carrying something heavy for many years. Finally, she took a deep breath, and in a soft, shaking voice, she said, "I am not your real mother." The world around me felt like it broke into pieces. Her words did not feel real. They floated in the air, cold and heavy, like something from a bad dream. I stood there, staring at her, waiting for her to say it was a joke. But she did not smile. She did not move. "I am not your real mother." The sentence repeated in my mind again and again. My legs felt weak, so I sat down slowly across from her. My hands were cold. I looked at her face, searching for something familiar, something safe. But now, everything felt different. Then, "Who are you?" I asked quietly. She closed her eyes for a moment, like she needed